Travolting presents Bobbin' for Robin. Hosted by Jeff Sweeney and Stuart Elmore. Covering everyone's hero. Enjoy the episode.
Hey, Stuart. Can't hear it. I can't hear shit. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back after
It's been about 6 weeks, right?
maybe
It's been about 8 weeks.
it's been about 2 months.
So everyone might have noticed that Travolting just stopped posting episodes after the RV one. Many of you were probably like, what's going on? Expecting an update from us that did not come because
no social media update, no nothing.
well, because what had happened was
We thought RV was such a good episode.
Yeah, it was a good
such
episode to end
movie
on.
that we were like, I think that is where we have
we
to
retired
end
the
it.
whole show.
That's Robin Williams. Like that's his last movie.
What had happened was Stuart and I ended up spontaneously winding up on completely incompatible schedules.
Yeah.
With our jobs, meaning that there was just no way. There was physically no way for us to record the show.
Yeah, my job would bombard me with some Saturdays and 6-day weeks, which means I'd have to watch them the same day we record.
You would basically only have like Sundays off.
Yeah,
and then we ended up filming on a Sunday.
and then what happened? Like then we stopped doing that, but then you guys started doing that.
Yeah.
So it was like we went from 6 days to 5 days, and we went from 5 days to 6 days. So it just
Stuart and I just
alley-oop.
didn't see each other, and there was physically no time for us to watch these movies or record this show. But thankfully, we are now in a place where we can get right back to it.
Did you miss me?
I did miss you. Thank you for your patience with
You've
us.
seen me like every day for the past like week now.
Yeah, and now we're going to be back to our weekly recording or our weekly posting schedule.
Yep.
Going through the rest of Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Starting today with quite the movie to come back with. Everyone's Hero.
Oh my god.
2006. Major motion picture.
Yep. Directed. Sorry.
Wow. That's
Glad
tough.
to be back. Well, we're talking about an amazing movie here. Co-directed by Colin Brady, Daniel St. Pierre, and Christopher Reeve.
Yeah, this is Christopher's solo directing credit in terms of films. I think he directed some episodes of TV.
Yeah. And he did not live to see this movie come out and release. This movie was released posthumously after his passing. But he got a co-directing credit. Now, I don't know how much co-directing Christopher Reeve ended up actually doing on the movie, because if my math is adding up, he would have had to have passed away pretty early in the production of this movie. So it seems like he was probably a creative influence in the pre-production.
He basically
process.
developed the script, developed the look, kind of came up with the structure and how he wanted the movie to flow, and then unfortunately passed away.
Yeah. And this is also very sadly to be Dana Reeves' also final movie before she passed away. There's a lot of heavy things that happen after this movie's release. When we talk about this movie, which is called Everyone's Hero, which you would think a movie called Everyone's Hero with Christopher Reeve, there must be a Superman thing in there. No.
It's a baseball movie.
It's a baseball movie. It's a baseball animated
Here's
kids
the thing.
movie.
This movie gives big
Barnyard. What's that movie? Barnyard movie?
Back at the Barnyard.
Back at the Barnyard.
No, the movie's called Barnyard, but
Barnyard.
the TV show is Back at the Barnyard.
Oh, okay. Meet the Robinsons.
No, I wouldn't even say that. This movie gives direct to video slop house animation.
Right.
It kind of seems like one of those French animated films that gets dubbed by American actors that comes out on DVD.
Wow. Interesting pull.
No, but here's
French.
No, there's so many of these fucking things. Have you seen the Finding Jesus movie?
The Finding Jesus movie.
I'm pulling it up.
If I just type in Finding Jesus,
no, don't.
movie.
I have a picture. I want you to look at it.
Whoa! But that's a fish.
Yeah,
and it's
It's Finding Nemo,
but
he's finding Jesus.
Is Jesus the name of a fish? Or
I have not watched the motion picture.
Hold on. Hold on.
Sure, it gets even better. They made a sequel, Finding Jesus 2.
It's a different fish.
It's a different fish.
Did the first fish die?
Probably.
Two friends, Muggles and Joy, spread faith and hope in a number of isolated encounters which reinforce basic biblical values. Now, just by that...
This is the type of shit that like I'm talking about. Like tappy toes.
Yeah. Now, just reading that log line, there's nothing about that log line where this takes place in the ocean.
At the bottom of the sea.
With fish.
At the bottom of the sea.
I'm going to read this again. Two friends, Muggles and Joy, spread faith and hope in a number of isolated encounters which reinforce basic biblical values.
Yes.
This could be two human people walking around in a neighborhood spreading the good word of Jesus. But it's about fish.
It's about fish.
In the ocean.
Because even fish can discover the divine light of the Lord.
I'm playing the trailer.
It's a beautiful underwater day in the ocean.
Jesus sure has blessed us with lives in such a beautiful underwater universe.
All of our fellow sea creatures could learn a lot from you two.
God leads by example. Jesus keeps his promises, and so should we. Always.
All things are possible through Jesus. We just have to have faith.
What the fuck? That sounded so...
I'm glad I got to introduce you
those
to
voices sounded a little AI. I know they're not.
But they sound a little AI.
They sound a little AI, but I also realized that if we look at a movie from the 90s with this same kind of slop, we will probably say, that sounds a little AI.
Yeah.
This was made in the 90s.
The point being, this movie kind of gives that energy.
Yes, it does.
Except it's 2006. So this was released in theaters and is like an actual studio production.
Yes.
Distributed by 20th Century Fox.
That's incredible.
So it's you hate to say it is like a real movie.
It's a real movie.
Yes.
And
I will say,
uh-oh.
It is not like disastrous in the way some of these like Slophouse animation things are. I actually found like there were a few sequences here that were competently directed. I'm not saying well directed, but competently directed.
Yeah.
And like it does have the occasional visual idea.
I know you didn't put a Letterboxd review on this.
No, I watched it 45 minutes ago. I haven't had time.
Right.
I was driving the 45 minutes in between.
That's right. Jeff was an hour late today.
No, I was right on time for our 11:10 a.m. start.
Yeah.
It was exactly when we intended to start the whole time.
I told him, wow, that 2-month hiatus really got to you.
The senioritis.
Yeah.
Anyway, so like this does have, there's like a train chase about 30 minutes into this thing.
It looks like Subway Surfers.
No, it looks like Subway Surfers, undeniable. Yeah. But it does have like a spark to it. It has like motion. There are ideas. It's trying to do like a Buster Keaton thing.
I love the way you're saying, like things are moving on the screen.
No, like
there are faces on animated characters.
No, like there is a shittier version of this movie's not good. This movie's like a 3 out of 10.
Agreed.
To be clear.
Agreed.
But there is like a version of this movie where that train chase is just like static shots of like guy runs down train, jumps to other train, guy jumps to other train. There's like a little bit of the Buster Keaton, the general like he's homaging classic train chases.
Yeah.
Whoever directed that sequence.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to find something in here to latch onto.
Okay.
Because otherwise this is just like, I don't want to just be like, this is shit made to like serve to the piggies. like Christopher Reeve like clearly wanted to tell a story about baseball, an all-American thing that he cared about. And I am trying to like find the little bits of heart in here because it's not a mean movie.
It's not
just a bad movie.
It's not a mean movie. It is just a really, 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 really bad movie.
Yes.
This movie has quite a big cast in it. Now, I will say a lot of the cast in this, save Rob Reiner and who voices the Bat, darling? Whoopi Goldberg.
Yes.
Like, I feel like Rob Reiner and Whoopi Goldberg and maybe Mandy Patinkin. But everybody else worked like one day on this movie. So But this has a pretty big stack cast. Like Rob Reiner plays Screwy. That's the name of the talking baseball.
Rob Reiner, locked in.
Yeah, Rob. Look,
God bless his soul.
Rest in peace, Rob Reiner.
Rob Reiner. He's locked in here.
Yeah, well,
Did he work for maybe 6 hours? Probably.
He probably had to come do at least 2 days.
But like they're not full. They weren't full days.
No.
He came in. He
of course
said
not.
some lines.
Yeah, 2 4-hour days.
Because it's not like he's really playing a character in this. He's kind of just doing the Rob Reiner thing.
You don't book Mr. Reiner for more than 4 hours.
Like Rob Reiner is he just walks into and he's just like, "Hey, I'm a ball. I'm rolling here.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Come on."
I do want to say anecdotally that I had the pleasure of working with Rob Reiner for 3 days, and he and his wife were amazing people. That's all.
I've only ever heard that they were incredible people.
Yeah, really great people on set. Sad that they are no longer with us. But moving on, keeping this light, like everyone's hero. So Rob Reiner, Whoopi Goldberg plays Darlin, the Babe Ruth's baseball bat.
Okay, but here's
Lucky baseball bat.
Now that we've gotten the bat and the ball talk.
Yep.
Biggest issue with this movie. They don't be needing to talk, right?
They don't.
There's no actually gain.
Well, I think the ball needs to talk.
No, I don't think the ball needs to talk.
The bat doesn't need to
There's
talk.
no gain from these things talking. The movie progresses exactly the same if the ball does not talk.
I'm going to use your oldest trick in the book, Jeff, then. Then what's the movie?
The movie is the kid trying to get Babe Ruth's bat back to him.
Yeah, but it's the ball that, like...
It's because he needs someone to talk to.
Yeah, he needs someone to talk to.
So you got to give him a little anthropomorphized friend.
Yeah, and that should be a ball from the Sandlot. That becomes a home run ball at the end.
It does become a home run ball.
Because what's Darlin's
Good for
growth
him.
in this movie? Nothing. Darlin is a baseball bat that belongs to Babe Ruth, who eventually goes back to being a baseball bat for Babe Ruth, who hits a home
Good for
run
her.
with the kid, but that's a whole other thing.
A whole other thing.
William H. Macy plays Lefty McGinnis,
Who's the Cubs pitcher.
Yes.
This movie's a New York versus Chicago movie.
Yeah. Okay. So I wasn't gonna hit that right away, but since you said it, yes, the antagonists of this movie are the Chicago Cubs.
Yes.
Which I did chuckle at a lot.
It's a little funny.
It's a little funny. What I love also is, this is a Robin Williams podcast, so obviously Robin Williams is in this movie. What role is Robin Williams? Robin Williams plays
Napoleon Cross.
And I'll just read his description for the Wikipedia. The corrupt general manager of the Chicago Cubs.
Yes.
So I even love that they're putting in it's Chicago, the windy city, corrupt city. Of course, the antagonist of the movie, Chicago Cubs, are going to be corrupt.
Can I tell you one of my favorite kind of shady Cub stories ever?
Please.
When
spend the runtime of this episode.
When Wrigley Field was first they were playing, baseball in the early days. Wrigley Field is essentially 2 stands where you could sit. Mm-hmm. And then the outfield, instead of as built up as it is now, was basically just rope. There was 2 ropes. And that was indicating, the confines of the field. Mm-hmm. And the fans could all just stand behind the rope to watch.
Uh-huh.
Now, here's the thing about rope. It moves.
Right.
So, when the Cubs were up to bat, the fans would all kind of push in and make the field smaller.
So home runs would be a lot more
So the home runs would be easier.
Yeah.
And then with the other team, they would pull the rope back. So
don't you love that though? Isn't that a great Chicago story?
That's just a great Chicago and great American thing, right?
That's a great Chicago energy story.
Yeah.
Because we're all cheaters at the end of the day.
I like this movie's perception of New York in this movie is a Norman Rockwell, it's Brooklyn, it's hey, I'm walking here, but
right.
Everyone's a plucky underdog, and they're all just scraping by in the Depression era, and baseball's what's getting them through.
Yeah,
it has that very Norman Rockwell energy to it.
Yeah,
and then they go to Chicago, and it's the den of sin.
It is Sin City. The kid is on the bus with the Cincinnati Reds.
Yes,
and they're seeing all these different storefronts and buildings and neon signs, and a lot of them have dancer girls or whatever. It's very much the Mr. Potter
Pottersville. Can I just say, I wish Chicago still looked like that.
You told me that there was one street we watched The Fugitive recently, and there's one street block that has not changed since the filming of that movie.
There's one street block that hasn't changed since the 70s.
Yeah,
but it's 70s grimy.
Yeah,
I'm talking about if you go to this movie is set when they go to Chicago. He goes to a hotel on State Street. It's State Street because you can see the Chicago Theater in the background.
Right.
Same marquee. And it's like, and it's an animated movie. Of course, it is an artificial rendering.
Yeah.
But it's like jazz clubs and bars and dancing.
I want to tell the story of Richard's Bar.
Richard's Bar?
Yeah.
Well, really quick, but like now if you go to State Street, it's like a Target.
Yeah.
There's an Adidas store. It's like kind of
pretty sure there's a Nordstrom over there.
1,000% a Nordstrom.
They did close down the State Street loop stop because they're renovating it now.
Yeah, they're renovating a lot of things down there.
Yeah.
And like loop is still quite nice. I love Chicago. Chicago, great city in the world, baby.
Downtown's still like, you know,
great.
for all the things, like I think the downtown still cooks.
Yeah.
You know.
We just need some more jazz clubs and like kind of sketchy characters.
Well, it's all hidden speakeasies now.
It's all quote unquote hidden speakeasies,
right?
That you reserve 3 months in advance,
right?
And then a guy who's like,
find on Apple
"Hey,
Maps.
what's the password?" Opens the door and he's dressed like Al Capone.
Yeah,
and you tell him like Rosebud, and then they let you in, and then you get served a fucking $30 old fashioned.
Yeah. That's the fucking city.
Yeah. And some college students up there singing like.
But we still got the Green Mill. The Green Mill's like
Green Mill's great.
Green Mill's great.
That Lawrence intersection, like
yeah,
it does feel like it just kind of got trapped in 1932.
It's great, isn't it?
It is great.
That's awesome. No, but Richard's Bar is a bar. It's just across the bridge from downtown, so it's not quite downtown, but it's pretty close. And it's one of those bars that has a reputation.
Yeah,
I'll leave it at that. Yeah. And when Chicago passed the indoor smoking ban,
yes,
somehow this one bar was able to scathe by.
Yes.
And it is the one bar in Chicago where I don't think it is technically, quote unquote, legal to smoke.
No, it does not have a legal exemption.
Right. It doesn't have a legal exemption, but it is a non-enforced indoor smoking function. Yeah. I'll put it at that.
Yeah.
I don't just outright be like, it's owned by the mob.
There was a story of a guy who got stabbed in Richard's Bar.
Yeah.
And the police went up to the bartender like, what happened? He's like, I didn't see nothing. Yeah. And it happened just at the bar. Like the guy just was stabbed at the bar.
Like I don't know if the mob actually still exists in Chicago anymore.
The mob exists, but they definitely aren't
the mob mentality.
Yeah.
Absolutely exists in Chicago.
The mob 1,000% still exists in Chicago. They're just they're not quite as successful as they were in the days of Gotti or he was New York, but
yeah, Capone.
Gotti. We should do Gotti again, right?
No,
just do another one of those.
One was good. We're never gonna have another actor crossover.
Let me tell you something.
New
York's a great fucking city.
We're not going to have another actor crossover with Gotti. Thank the Lord. But you know which actor we are having another crossover with?
Who?
Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah,
because he's in this movie.
And he was in Battlefield Earth.
And he was in Battlefield Earth, and he was in Phenomenon. And we've covered Forrest Whitaker a number of times. This will not be the last time we cover Forrest Whitaker on this season of the podcast.
The bartender!
Yes. Yes, this will not be our last stop with Forrest Whitaker this season.
Not our last time going to the forest.
Not our last time going to the forest. We shall revisit the forest, but the forest plays Lonnie the Rooster Brewster.
Yeah, that's about all you need to say about that.
That's all we need to say. He's a pitcher for Cincinnati Tigers.
Robin, it is fun. He's playing the Chicago Cubs manager because he is from Chicago. A thing that very seldom, ostensibly, but a thing that very seldom comes up in any of his comedy or.
Well, because Robin is from Chicago the same way a lot of celebrities were born in a suburb of Chicago that moved out when they were 5.
Yeah.
How much can you really say they were from Chicago?
But my point being, it is fun. He gets to do a little Chicago
bit.
He does a fun, he's just like, hey, I'm the Chicago Cubs manager. How are you there?
He doesn't do that much to change his voice.
No, he does that. He does a lot of that.
He does a little bit of that. But yeah, he plays Napoleon Cross, a corrupt general manager, and they're going up to bat against the New York Yankees for the World Series. This must have been the one time the Cubs ever made it to the World Series and then lost before. Was this the GOAT incident? No, the GOAT incident was before this, the Depression era. It was 1920 or something.
And then they didn't win again until 2016.
Right. Prophecy.
which is all fucked
10
up.
years later after this movie. Fuck you, New York Yankees. Anyway, so
God, how cool! Remember when they almost won in the Back to the Future year?
one of the Back to the Future.
When they
year?
won in the Back to the Future year. Because in Back to the Future 2, it's like the Cubs win the World Series in 2015. And they made it to the World Series in 2015.
Right.
They lost, but then they won in 2016.
Yeah, that would have been.
It would have been so perfect.
Would have been really perfect.
But like, that would have been fun. But ultimately, like, just to get back to the movie, we should quickly summarize what the plot of this movie is.
Yes.
As like thin as it is.
So Jake T. Austin plays Yankee Irving.
Crazy name.
Crazy name. I wonder what he's going to do at the end of the movie, Jeff.
I named my son after the favorite baseball team. I named it after the Yankees.
The Yankees. And if Jake T. Austin is familiar
Jake
to
T.
you,
Austin was Diego on Go Diego.
I was just about to say he voices Diego on Go Diego Go, the spiritual sequel to Dora the Explorer, that which they then combined it because the IP wasn't good enough, so they went back to Dora. Anyway, he also plays Max Russo on Disney Channel Wizards of Waverly
live
Place.
action Diego.
They
did live action Dora.
Well, they've done multiple like live action TV specials of Dora before the live action Dora movie.
Yeah, well, they did 2 live action Dora movies.
Yeah,
Dora and the Lost City of Gold, I think it is.
Who plays?
And then there's Dora and the Treasure of
God.
El Soldado or
it's
something.
that actress that like plays
Day of the Soldado.
Isabel Merced, who would later go on to because isn't this the same actress who is in Alien Romulus? Yes, same actress that like gives birth to that like baby. That creepy
Dora.
baby.
Isabel Merced.
Remember when I gave you
One of the greats.
When I gave you the poster of
You did.
the Offspring?
It hangs above my bed.
Does it?
Directly above me. I wake up to him every morning.
I look in your bedroom every night for it, and I don't see it, Jeff. Where'd you put it?
It's around.
Yeah, I figured.
They should do another Alien, but it's just that guy had like his day-to-day routine.
The Offspring?
Yeah. Don't they suck him out into space at the end of it?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
He's dead.
No, but he like lands on a planet and he's just like, oh, he builds a house, raises a family. I just want to see a like day in the life of the xenomorph, you know?
The Xeno Offspring, human engineer hybrid.
He's like making a coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
Got to go to work, you know, but at Slaughter to provide for the family.
This is like, talk about amazing alien design with the Offspring.
Yeah,
He looks so fucking creepy.
he's great.
Anyway, back to the children's movie.
Yeah, back to the children's movie.
Yankee Irving, 10-year-old
Yes.
boy. Of course, they're playing baseball in the sandlot, and he sucks. He's no good. But he hears a talking ball,
Yes.
and the
I'm
ball
always saying that.
is named Screwy, played by Rob Reiner.
Yes. Hey, I'm a ball.
yeah.
I'm talking here.
Rob Reiner's basically like, what do you mean we got to go to Chicago? No, we got to go back to New York. Oh, come on. You're wasting my
The
time.
pastrami's great.
That's Rob Reiner the whole movie. Then
He for the rest of the movie, he is just basically yelling like New York landmarks. He's just like, the Yankees, Castelli,
Empire State Building.
the World Trade Center. It's like, that doesn't even exist yet. In ball, how do you know? You see all time.
And then
The
in 2006, it
Statue of
doesn't
Liberty.
exist. Because it already got wrecked.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's like double layers of doesn't
double
exist
layers of-
anymore. And then William H. Or I already talked about William H.
talking about
Macy.
William H.
Mandy Patinkin plays Stanley Irving, Yankees' father. He was also custodian at the Yankee Stadium. Cut to Robin Williams playing Napoleon Cross. He's like, we got to somehow find a way to beat the Yankees this year. What's it with Babe Ruth? How is he so good? That man's a chubby fat man who keeps hitting home runs. It must be his bat. We have to take his bat.
He's got magical abilities in the bat.
The bat. We must go get the bat. William H. Macy. Yeah, this is William H. Macy from your favorite film, Shameless and,
It is
and Sahara.
It is so funny when you look up pictures of Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
Because like modern baseball players are like very clean cut guys, and Babe Ruth is just like, look at this. This is like the best baseball player of all time. It's just like,
He looks like he smoked like 8 packs a day.
he did. He's notoriously, which is like, like every time he was out there, he was drunk or like smoking.
Is he the best
cigarettes.
baseball player in the sense that like the same way like back in the day with the way baseball was played and the stats and stuff, he was the baseball player, and if you took Babe Ruth and put him in today's standard, he probably wouldn't do as
I
good.
would be curious.
Is there, because there's
Probably.
like a thing with that, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Because everyone talks about like Michael Jordan, LeBron, who's better? Well, based on the stats and the regulations of back in the NBA, blah, 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 blah. I don't care about sports. Anyway, so
The problem is that Michael Jordan had done Space Jam, and now LeBron has done Space Jam.
so they're still equal.
If anyone has ever seen the LeBron James Space Jam, it's actually maybe one of the worst movies ever made.
And the first Space Jam is not one of the worst
No,
movies.
the first Space Jam is not good, but it does have Wayne Knight blowing
does
up
have
like
Wayne Knight.
blowing
Fuck.
up like a balloon. That's a good. That's good.
You haven't been talking to the cops, have you, right?
Yeah, so the first Space Jam is not good,
Big product placement movie.
but the second Space Jam makes the first Space Jam look like fucking Citizen Kane. Like
okay, very good. Very, very good.
the end of the movie is they have to recruit all the Warner Brothers IP together to come watch the basketball game, and like the Droogs from Clockwork Orange are present there.
You're lying.
I'm not kidding. I'm not.
Oh my God.
And it's like the rapists are like you're putting them in the movie. And then the villain is Don Cheadle as Algae Rhythm, who's an algorithm.
Wow, this is a disaster.
Zendaya is Lola Bunny.
That's a good casting choice. But yeah, Robin Williams sets William H. Macy out for the bat.
Yes.
Play Lefty McGinnis.
Guess what? He steals the bat.
He steals
but
the
you know who
bat.
gets framed for it?
Stanley,
protagonist.
Stanley Irving, the dad, and so he gets fired. And so Yankee is like, "I'm gonna go get the bat and save your job, Dad." And of course, Rob Reiter's the baseball. It's like, "You're just a kid. What do you mean you're gonna go? You're gonna go up on the go to Penn Station and go grab the bat? That's a great idea, baseball screwy." And so he goes and he gets the bat. And
He
now,
does.
and now he has the bat played by Whoopi Goldberg.
He gets the bat pretty quickly and easily.
quickly and easily.
He
And
just steals it on train. There's a fun train chase.
Yep. And then it
Who
comes
doesn't
to-
love a train chase?
who doesn't love a train chase? And so that now they have a debate of like, do we take this back to New York, you give it back to the manager, say my dad's job, or do we take it over to Chicago where the New York Yankees are playing against the Cubs? They
To
decided
save Babe Ruth's career.
to save Babe Ruth's career.
Save your dad. Save Babe Ruth.
Newsflash: they hop on a bus to go to
they
Chicago.
go to Chicago.
Which bus do they hop on? The Cincinnati Tigers bus.
Yeah.
Why? Because Cincinnati Tigers are playing.
Well, no,
or
he doesn't
just-
get in the Cincinnati Tigers bus right away. First, they take a different train.
Uh-huh.
Then he hooks up with some hobos, played by Richard Kind and Ed Helms.
Oh yeah. A lot of
Then-
these roles are people doing favors.
Then
for
he
the Reed
walks.
family.
Then he winds up at like a depression town and meets Raven Simone,
Yeah.
who helps him fight off some bullies.
Yeah.
And then Raven's like, "My dad is a player for the Cincinnati Reds. Here's a note. Go to him, and he'll get you to Chicago." And then William H. Macy shows up and tries to steal the bat, and it's a full like, "I'm your dad," and he's like, "That's not my dad." And then Raven Simone helps him beat up the guy.
Yeah.
There's like a fun little. I do like the sunset fight on top of the hill, where he and William H. Macy's character like tug of warring with the bat.
And,
And
Darla's
there's a beautiful
just like,
sunset.
"Ah, stop
And
pulling
Whoopi
on
Goldberg's
me."
like, "Ah, I haven't been this pulled around since that episode of The View." Ah.
That's good. That was good.
It's so cool. She still does The View.
Yeah.
The View. We love The View. But then he hops in with the Cincinnati Reds, and they teach him how to hit a ball. Forrest Whitaker's like, "Here's how you swing a bat." He's like, "Thanks, my dad."
I'm Forrest Whitaker.
I'm Forrest Whitaker. What if he's just playing himself, but like back in time?
Yeah. That'd be good.
And then he winds up in Chicago in the Den of Sin. The Cubs steal the bat back from him
Yeah.
at this fancy hotel that they're at.
Yeah.
Rob Williams is like, "Ha ha ha ha!" And the Cubs are winning the World Series,
Yeah.
so he has to go steal the bat back and return it to Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
And Babe Ruth gets the bat, and he's like, "Oh, thank you for bringing me this bat, son."
Who plays Babe Ruth?
Brian Dennehy.
Brian.
Now here's the thing: in real life, if this had happened, Babe Ruth would like spit some chew onto the kid and say, "Get lost, scum." Probably get lost, fuck face.
Oh man. But then he's like, "You know what? I think you should bat."
Because Babe Ruth is the everyone's hero who the movie is referencing.
Yeah.
Because at one point they say he's everyone's hero.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
All right. And so the boy, Yankee Irving, goes up to bat. And, of course, he hits a home run.
There's a home
He
run.
wins the World Series for the Yankees because fuck the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah, and then Ron Williams gets arrested.
Yep.
And sent to prison for stealing the bat. Mm-hmm. And that's the end of the movie.
That's the end of the movie. Oh, boy. Oh, man. This was a great comeback for the Travolting podcast.
Yeah, no, there's really not much more to say. Like, Robin's fun in it. Everyone's having fun. The movie's well-intentioned.
Yeah.
Christopher Reeve, it was something he was passionate about before his death. And I'm glad it got made for all of those reasons. Mm-hmm. Comes out, really nobody sees it. It's a big flop.
Yeah.
Gets pretty lukewarm reviews. If this came out nowadays, I think the reviews would be much worse. But I think there was still a certain novelty to computer animation that allowed this to not be immediately seen as like slop.
Yeah, it is good that Christopher and Dana Reeve both got, one last little project in before.
Yeah, there is something nice to that.
Yeah. And and as for Robin, I mean, a lot of people in this movie are doing, the Reeves a favor. Like, I feel like that's why they get as big of a cast as they do, because everyone just wants to pitch in and help out.
Yeah.
So
Robin Williams, lifelong friend of Christopher Reeve. So
yeah,
that's why he's in it.
Of course.
And it's another classic Robin goes uncredited movie.
Yeah. But no one's career really gets.
There's no impact. It's just it's a movie.
There's not really an impact on this movie. So I wish there was more juice to talk about, but unfortunately,
I feel like there's someone who updated the Wikipedia of syndication for this movie, releasing every single channel that has ever had the rights to show this movie.
Right, Piper? Come on. Good.
Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about Everyone's Hero.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
Nope. I don't have anything else. We did break the 30-minute mark, so at least we got a 30-minute episode in.
This is another movie that just really doesn't exist. But
yeah, it doesn't exist. It's not, there's a lot of unrealistic things. And that's why we're going to talk next week about the most unrealistic premise, Man of the Year, a movie about a comedian running for president.
Yeah, TV personality runs for president. Something that would never happen.
Something that would never happen.
Yeah.
So join us for that one. That's going to be a special episode. As always, if you like this episode, remember to rate, review, comment, like, subscribe to every platform you're listening on, of which we are on many. Special thanks to Michael Van Smith for the theme music and Rebecca for the graphic design. Thank you all for listening to this week's episode of Everyone's Hero. See you all next week for Man of the Year.